Hi, welcome to the Three Dimensional Dads. We are jumping in here with our spoiler review of Dune 2.
Yeah.
So we have a spoiler-free review already on our channel, so go check that out. If you haven't seen Dune 2 yet, we're gonna get into like the in-depth, nitty-gritty geek stuff. So, and coming into this too, I am a Dune, a new guy. I'm a newbie at this. I have not read the books, but Derek here has read the books, knows the deep cuts. So we're
Yeah,
gonna get
I've
into it.
I've read most of the books. I know some of the details. I've seen some of the other properties and stuff from Dune, some of the other movies and things before. I love the story. Dune is a book that if you listen to a lot of people that are involved in leadership and stuff, it's a very influential book, and the series is pretty influential. I'd say you don't have to read all of them. The first three books are probably the best ones. Don't
Isn't
the
it
whole
always?
series gets really weird, but
So you want to jump into our
yeah.
review of the movie and then get into some spoilers?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think so I as we said in the other review, I can't even describe the depth of detail that they went into this movie. Just like the realism of this book and the details that you not the book, sorry, of the movie, and just how much that parallels what you can imagine when you're reading the books it's like. Um the fact that, there's reasons why they don't I really love just even things like the weapons in these stories. They use swords because they have shields. They can't use shields in the desert because the desert attracts these worms. Um
Oh,
yeah, so they make a point of saying that in the first movie, and I had that thought like why are they in the desert, and why aren't the Harkonnens just aren't using their shields when they're going to harvest spice? And I
right.
forgot because in the first movie the Emperor's advisor says no, if you turn on shields out here it attracts worms and it's like a feeding frenzy. And that's
Oh,
why I was kind of
okay.
wondering, like, well, wait a minute, so all these Thropters are like running around shooting at them. Why don't they just put on their shields? Well, then it became obvious to me. But there's
And how
little
much do
details.
the shields do? Come on,
Right.
everyone knows how to kill people with shields on. No
Right.
one's been saved by a shield.
Yes. Yes.
All the weapons get through shields. The shields are not good. Come on.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I know. But there was like those little details like that I forgot from the first movie. And one of the
Yeah.
biggest ones, if I was going to say there was any criticism, was that I really wish they really emphasized again why the spice was so important. It's not
Right.
just like because it makes you rich. It's a tool. It's a psychic tool for some of the people like the Bene Gesserit and the Fremen, but it enables people to travel through the universe of Dune. There is this tribe called the Guild, and they don't even really talk about that. And that's one of the misses I thought that was about the movie. There's this whole race of people that basically, with the Bene Gesserit, control space and time, and that's the
Oh.
guild. It's the space guild. And in the first movie, you see these big like tubular spaceships, and all the ships come out of them. That's the
Yeah.
guild, and they
I've
didn't
never seen
really.
that. I want to know more about that. So you like
Right,
fly all your ships in, the tube
right.
shoots them. I don't know how that works. I
Yeah,
want to see
so
that.
they fold space and time. They use the spice to
Nice.
do it. Yeah,
Two
and
points in the they bring them together in time.
right, and
Nice.
so they kind of just that's a big deal in the books, and they sort of just like left it out, which was kind of
Yeah.
really weird to me. So for me, you want to know like why the Fremen were attacking the Harkonnen all the time, and yes, it's because they're stealing the riches from their planet and stuff. It's spice, but what is the reason for having that war, right? And it's because spice controls so much more than just like oh, it's just this rich thing that you're like mining like oil, right? And they
Right.
they could have
Yes.
gotten a little bit more into why it's so important, I think. They did really focus on the Messiah part of it, which was very well done. And
Right.
the whole bloodline and lineage and what the Bene Gesserit were trying to do by raising this Messiah through this complicated bloodline of making sure the royalty is passed on from generations. They did that very well, and that was just the Harkonnens were so evil. It was like I hadn't seen evil like that in such a long time. It was so good. It was just
Dave
oh
Batista. Well, yeah. I mean, that was, And like the way they shot that, where they, I think you had mentioned they
Yeah.
shot it with like IR cameras or something.
Yes.
So there's a whole bunch of scenes where they're on a planet. It's black and white, and it looks like I've never seen before. It doesn't even look like a
Yeah.
camera trick. It looks
Right.
like it was really funky.
It
There
was
they have a black sun that makes it look like this.
And you mentioned this too in that arena. It's like there's like a gladiatorial arena in the scene on the Harkonnen planet, and it just looks like millions and millions of people. Uh,
Yeah.
Like it just hordes of people. The armies look huge when they were going back to like raid Arrakis again, like with Fade's army. It was just unbelievable. The scope of the movie was just crazy to me, and I
Yeah.
enjoyed that so much. It made it epic in such a way that I
Right.
haven't seen a movie in a long time. Yeah.
And I think too it was the way they shot it and cut it, because they cut
Yeah.
down on the ground individual people fighting.
Yes.
Where like I feel like sometimes in big battles you see like CG orcs against CG guy, and they're all battling each other's swords, and you're like, meh.
Right.
This
Yeah.
I thought it was done so well, where like
Yeah.
giant numbers, but you still got that personal touch to it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There another thing that if I'm putting on the comic book guy thing here, like being critical. One of the other reasons why Stilgar incorporates Paul and his mother into the tribe is because the his house, Paul's house, they have this fighting method that it's called like the way. And in the first movie, they mention it that like she's a fighter because she takes Stilgar off guard, and it's supposed to be they have this way of moving very fast and fighting. And part of the story in the book is that Paul and his mother teach the Fremen this technique, and they leverage it against the Harkonnen, and they leverage it against the Emperor's troops, along with the things like the sandworm, that battle at the end where they come through, crashing through the wall, they blow it up with the House Atomics and stuff. But that was also a piece that was kind of left out. They enhance the tribe in a way, just like the tribe enhances them.
I
And
like that.
and I didn't miss it, but it is like another reason why they are so amenable to like, oh, why don't we just take their water? Who cares?
Right. But even
Kind of
if you
thing.
made it that they can get through shields, like there,
Right.
you could have done that another way, where it's like, oh, everyone's
Yeah.
cutting through shields all the
Yeah.
time. Like a slow
Yeah.
blade cuts through the shields. What's the point of a shield? But I thought it was just Josh Brolin gave him that secret sauce. Like you get that scene in the first Dune where like Josh Brolin's teaching him, no, kill
Yeah.
like this. Paul's so
Yeah.
good at it.
The fight scenes were epic though. Fight scenes were so good. Like,
Also, he's Willy Wonka. I mean, I've watched what my daughters are watching Wonka on repeat. So it's kind of hard for me to go there and be like, why doesn't he just make chocolate? He's like finding spice, and I'm like, he probably could put that in some really good chocolate that makes your eyes turn blue. Come on, Willy Wonka.
I do agree with you. AMC missed the mark on not having a blue drink with this movie.
Come on, worm juice. Right, the water of life from Dune. That is so easy. Just hypnotic or whatever that alcohol is. Come on, AMC. All right, so
Now-
I'd probably give this an A minus.
Yeah.
Maybe on second viewing, I'd give it an A. Because like
Yeah.
my first time through, I kind of had my gut reaction. I don't know much about Dune. I was just like overloaded. But
Yeah.
I feel like a second time through, I can like take it in a bit more and like answer some questions. Because I still had some, if we're talking spoilers, we had Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
There's one where there's a scene suddenly, and Paul saw, I assumed it was a sister. I'm sure if I see it again, it's going to be like, hello, brother. And I'll be like, I just missed that. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's his, because the mom talks to her unborn baby a bunch. And then it turns
Yeah.
out that's this baby in the
Yep.
Palsies. So, yeah, Derek, you had to explain that for me when we left.
Yeah, so actually that's another thing that's the difference in the book is that because Jessica, Paul's mother, is pregnant in the book when she takes the water of life, which is basically kind of like the blood of one of the sandworms, the pregnancy is accelerated, and basically Paul's sister is born, and she rapidly grows, and by the time the book is over, she's almost like 3 or 4. She's already been born, and she's like 3 or 4, and actually she kills the Baron in the David
What?
Lynch film. She
A
kills the
4-year-old
Baron.
kill.
Yes.
I've saw that so long ago that I don't connect them. I got to go rewatch it now.
Yeah, and that's Paul's sister that does that.
Metal.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. 4-year-old
And,
killed
and
the
so
bear.
so it's crazy. Yeah. So that's also a huge difference. But yes, but I did like how they did that, and I did like his vision that he sees his sister by the shore. We're swimming on Arrakis, and then there's the ocean.
Oh,
Right.
right. I thought it was setting up the next movie. I totally felt that.
Yep.
I also made a joke when we left the theater that if you've seen Little Women, the Greta Gerwig one, I mean, it's right. It's like you have Florence Pugh, who was Amy, and you have Timothy Chalamet, who was Lawrence, and like they fall in love and they have such good chemistry. So when she's there, like, oh, I'm the Empress's daughter, I'm like, ooh, they're gonna be great together. Like even before he takes her hand, I'm like,
Yeah.
she's gonna take her hand because they were Little Women. They were so good together. Like that's like the whole end of Little Women. It's like such a good movie.
Yes,
Like,
and the other,
they're great together.
and a big story too is that, at the end of this, yes, basically Paul says that I'm going to take your daughter as, my wife, leaving out his concubine Chani, and Chani's like, I'm having none of this. And in the end, but in the book, it's kind of like it's an accepted thing. It's just like Jessica was to Duke Leto. It's not a wife, it's a concubine. He loves her, kind of thing. And they're going to have like a separate, sort of relationship. At the end of this movie, Chani basically sets out on her own, doesn't want anything to do with like the Messiah prophecy, and is hopping a ride on a sandworm.
Well,
which
I thought
was
Zendaya,
really cool.
she was so in this. I thought
amazing.
she was almost half the movie. It's like I felt Timothy Chalamet had half, but it really felt like Zendaya's stuff. She's so awesome. Like I know her from Euphoria on HBO.
Yep.
She's just does everything. And I know her from like Lip Sync Battle, where she's an amazing dancer and singer and pop star. Like what? And then she does this, and she's an amazing warrior, and like can carry it on IMAX. You can carry a movie, and your face is IMAX like that. The acting was so good. She was amazing in this.
And what I really liked about what you said too is that she was almost his truth during the whole thing, like his conscience, right? How
I
he
love
looked
that.
over to her. Yeah.
The final battle where Elvis is fighting Willy Wonka. They have these knives, and I love it when there's like there's a lightsaber battle, and it's not about Darth and Luke. It's not about the lightsabers and all the twirling and stuff. It is the characters, and the lightsabers are an extension on that. They're working through betrayal and father and son. Like there's so much more to the battle that the lightsabers are an extension of that. And I felt like this knife fight in the end, it all comes down to a knife fight, and the galaxy's on the line. But I love the whole time that Paul Atreides is looking back to Zendaya and being like, and reading her and her thoughts and feelings, and his mother's there, and there's like emotions, and you get this, even the sound effects. You can't see what's happening. You're just hearing, oh my God, someone got stabbed.
Right.
Like you're hearing these sounds. There are knives. You're not seeing it. You're like, That was so tense and amazing.
Yeah.
And I love that. That's a good movie to me. When I care about the characters and their relationships are fighting. Not just two guys have knives and they're just going at it and who cares about them. You care so much about both of these. They set up Elvis as being this dangerous guy.
Yes. Oh, totally. They did a great job.
Austin Butler. I know it's Austin Butler. People who are like, I know.
It's Elvis.
Yes. And I feel like he's trying hard not to sound like Elvis in every shot. He's like, no, I sound like somebody else. I'm not Elvis. You still kind of sound like Elvis, but you're trying. Yes.
Yeah, I think he was
He's a great actor. He's amazing.
He was excellent. He was very evil.
He looks great with no eyebrows. Yes, he was amazing.
So yeah, I agree. I give it also like an A- too. I haven't seen a movie like this in a long time.
So go see Dune 2. We loved it. There's some of our, we get deep on the geek stuff here. We loved it. The whole time, it just lit me up. And even after the movie, I'm thinking about it so much.
I know.
Oh, that reminds me of this and that. Yeah, it's like that's when it's a good movie when it sticks with you like that. So go see Dune 2. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on our social channels.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.